now for a palm spin tutorial, and we're going to see how this goes because this is my older camera and I'm not quite sure how it's going to come out as far as the look is, and it's quite bright out here, so we're using the front camera here and we're going to go live. But I need to get started on this just because we don't have a whole lot of time. Got to get into it. So it looks like this. Okay, that is a palm spin. So a palm spin is a couple different moves combined together. You have to know how to do what's called a turning monkey or a monkey spin. Okay, that looks like this one. Okay, show it to you from a couple of sides here. All right, and I can go more into detail about that real quick. Basic for a monkey spin is that your hands turn, and then from there you got to kick up the opposite leg of the, no, sorry, that's wrong. When you're going to turn, whichever way you're turning, you're kicking up that same leg. So if I turn left, I kick up my left leg going backward. If I turn right, I'm going to kick up my right leg going backward. So I'm coming this way, turning left, kick up my left leg, and everything twists around at the same time. So I'm here, here, and everything turns around. If I go here, here, everything turns around, okay? Being able to do it on the ground also is helpful. In a squat position, I turn my hands, put my hands down, turn my head, my whole body turns, okay? And then I come back around the other way. So that's the basic thing you have to learn how to do first. The other one is know how to do a bad cartwheel. You don't have to be able to do a really big open cartwheel with straight legs. That is not necessary. What's necessary is for you to be able to do a cartwheel with bent legs, actually. So instead of turning around for the turning monkey, you're putting both your hands down to the side behind you, okay? So if I'm here, both my hands come down behind me, and then I bring both my legs over the top. So I bring both my hands to the side, over the top, both my legs come over to the other side. And then if you want to take that up a notch, the next thing you need to be able to do is to come off with one leg. So you're starting your cartwheel, then land on two, kind of like a round off, but a bad round off, all right? So that would look something like leg off, both hands down, and then both feet come down at the same time. Watch again from the side here. Okay, coming down, lift the back leg up. As I come up, both my legs come together, and I drop down at the same time. You need to be able to do that, okay? The other part is that as you're coming down, just make sure that you absorb with the legs and you're not crashing down, right? You also need to be able to do two hands down and tuck the legs up, like so, okay? You don't want to have your hips dropping down when you're doing this. Your hips have to get over your head, like that, and your legs have to be tucked up like that for this to work, all right? One more thing is be able to lean forward into your shoulders. So if you have a good push-up in that position, not a wide push-up here, okay, a good push-up with your elbows going to your sides, like that, that's going to benefit you when doing this, okay? So if you have those prerequisites all together, then you're good to go. Quick recap on all those things, right? You need to have a turning monkey. You need to have a cartwheel that lands, take off one leg, land on two, take off one leg, land on two, okay? You need to have a good push-up for strength. You need to be able to do a tuck jump on your hands and be able to lean forward into your hands. If you have those things, this is going to become a lot easier for you. So let's go over to the wall. I'm going to move you over to here so this makes more sense. All right, so hopefully you can see. So for over here at the wall, you need to have an angled wall, first of all. That's going to help you out a lot. You need to have an angled wall like so. If you don't have an angled wall, that's okay. With time, that'll get better. Sorry if it's so dark. It's just the way the sun's coming in. You got to deal with it. So angled walls will help for beginners. A flat wall will be for when you become more advanced. Angled wall first. What you're going to do, you place one hand on the ground beneath you. You place the other hand on the wall. The bottom hand is turned like this. The top hand is turned like that. Okay? Look at my hand placement real quick. Okay, the top hand, the bottom hand is on the ground. The top hand is right here. Okay, 1 and 2. And I need to be able to take weight into that arm. So if you can't really see this, but I am putting my bottom hand there, and I'm able to do a small little jump off one leg like that and support myself in this arm. So it's all the weights in this arm and a little bit of weight is in the arm that's on the wall. Show you that from the side here. Okay, one hand here on the ground, one hand here on the wall, up. You need to get creative with this, whether it's a slanted tree, slanted wall, your couch, something like that. Get creative with it. I know you can figure it out. For demonstrative purposes, this works out very, very well. Next thing you got to do. All right, so if you have one hand down, one hand here on the wall, you have to make sure that you lift that back leg up like we worked on our cartwheel before. You're going to cartwheel over and then land 2 feet on the other side, and that looks like this. Up and over. Notice I had to move my arm to be able to do this. So if you look right here, I will move this top arm out of the way so I don't run into it. If I'm here, I have to move it out of the way so I don't run into it. That's going to make it easier for you to do the actual palm spin by itself. If you don't do that, you're going to have a really hard time learning this skill. One more time. On the wall, fingers facing down, other hand here, couple jumps up, over, move the arm, land on the other side. Okay, you have to master that first. Once you've mastered that, the rest of it's pretty simple. You're going to be putting your bottom hand close to the bottom of the slant of whatever you're working with here. Okay, so instead of it being here, you put it right here on the bottom. The other arm is here. You put most of your weight into the bottom hand, and then you're going to be jumping over. Now there's an important part of this. I'm going to show it real quick. Right, I'm here. Okay, as I come up and over, I have to be fast about this. Well, first of all, here's an important thing I need you to remember. When you're first learning this, do it over the edge of something, at a corner of something like that. Because if you don't do it over the edge here, you're more likely going to run into the wall the first time you do this. Happens to everybody. So from here, I'm going to aim for right there. Okay, come up and over like that. And I can use my hand and pull on this corner to help me go over that corner. See right here? Use this hand to pull. So if I'm here and I come over, I can pull myself over like that. I almost ran in the camera. Show you again from a little farther away. I'm going to pull here. Hand is here. I jump up, over, and I pull over and land 2 feet on that side. Okay? If we go completely from the side here, you'll get an even better idea of how this works. Here and here, a little bit of a jump, hop, pull, 2 feet down on that side. So that's your beginner palm spin. And as you get better at it, you can put your hands further up the wall and then get even more of the palm spin look. So my hands go up higher instead of all the way down here. Okay, they're higher up here. I do my little jump and I pull my legs over, right? And I come over to the other side. Now, eventually, you have to get this where you're falling away from the wall, because if you don't fall away from the wall, then you're going to run into the wall. Okay, so I have to fall this way towards you so that I do not actually run into the wall. And you can see that from the side here. I'm going to demonstrate again from the side, and you'll see how much I have to lean away from the wall to make this work. Okay, from here, I have to lean that way. Car, okay, I have to lean that direction with my body. That's why I wanted you to be able to do a good push-up and be able to lean forward with your hands and take all the weight in your arms, because you're going to need to have that strength to do that. So if I'm here and here, jump up, turn around, land right there, right? Boom, land right there. This is what's going to look like. I can jump off one leg, or I can jump off 2 feet at the same time. I have to lean. First time, do it over the corner so you know you're not going to clip the edge. My target's right there. I'm going to jump up. Okay, I did just fine. At first, draw a line on the ground that you have to get by. So find a rock. All right, if you're on concrete, draw a line. Get past that line. All right? Then draw a line that extends with the wall this way. Okay? So now I have a line going this way and a line going that way. Okay? And that tells me the extension of the wall and the end of the wall, so I can stay true to actually if I made it or not and prove to myself I can do this skill safely. So if I land on this side right here and I don't quite make it or I run into that side there, then I know I'm not ready to do this on a flat wall yet, or I'm not ready to do it in the middle of the wall. Okay? If I land on this side in this corner, I know for sure I'm ready to do it. So if I'm here, if I land there, I know for sure I'm ready to do this. Okay? And then as you get that, you just move it back to the middle of the wall. Okay? Instead of being on the corner, move it to the middle of the slant or the middle of the tree or the middle of whatever you're training on. Right? Now I can do this in the center of this without any problem whatsoever. And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to start leading in with the top hand first, and the second hand will place after that. So that's your touching hand and your support hand. And as you can see, I move this arm out of the way every single time I do that. Right? And here, I move the arm out of the way, and I come over the top. You'll get faster, you'll get better. Do this on grass at first. Do this on something soft at first. Don't go straight into doing this on super hard ground. It can be quite dangerous. You don't want to land on your knees, for example. So if I show you from this side real quick here, okay? Now I am able to do this, no problem. I can go in the middle here. I'm going to go the opposite direction now. Okay, there's that way, and that way. And you saw that time, I leaned into the wall, and that's why I almost hit it, okay? And that can happen. So there's a couple ways to keep that from happening. One is don't start too much at, don't run into it too much. So don't run too hard into the wall, okay? I'd actually recommend trying to do this from just a little step into it and not adding a bunch of run up into it. If you're on a tree, you can get away with that. If you're at the corner, you can get away with that. When you're on the flat wall, you'll probably just hit the wall the first time trying it. So don't do that, okay? But you're going to come into it here. You want to reflect and come back this direction. Come back this direction. Come back this direction. And that's your palm spin. I'm going to show you from the other side now. And we will finish up this tutorial. So here, that way, and that way. And that's it. Tune in next time. I'll try to post when I'm doing these things live so that you can come and be a part of it and ask me the questions you want to ask. Thanks, everybody. You all have a great day. And live. Okay.